It dripped onto the cold tiles of a tiny Lagos bathroom, drop by drop, mixing with the soapy water by her feet. Adaora's trembling hands clutched her stomach as sharp pain tore through her body. She wanted to scream, but only a whisper came out. Why? Why do I still remember? Her eyes darted to the mirror. For a split second, she thought she saw not her reflection, but the faint shadow of an older man grinning, whispering words she could not understand. The phone on the sink buzzed. It was Chief Okafor, the same man who promised her a house, a car, and a future as long as she gave him a child. The same man her mother had warned her about in her dreams. And now, as blood pooled around her feet, Ada knew something far darker than money was at play. But Ada's story didn't begin here. She was born the first daughter of Mama Ifeoma, a widow who raised 5 children alone in the back streets of Onitsha. Ada was the eldest, and from the day she could walk, responsibility became her second name. While other girls her age played 10 to 10 and Suwe, Ada was already balancing a tray of groundnuts on her head, running after buses at the motor park to sell to passengers. Life at home was a picture of hunger and survival. A leaking zinc roof that groaned when rain fell, a cracked water pot in the corner, 4 younger siblings who cried for Gary at night, and a mother whose lips never stopped moving in prayer. Adaora, Mama Ifeoma would whisper in the candlelight, clutching her worn Bible, God will not abandon us. Pray, my daughter. God will provide. At first, Ada prayed with her. She knelt, clapped, cried out. But as the years passed, she began to doubt. She watched her mother's knees darken from kneeling on the bare floor. She watched her fast until she fainted. And still, their poverty remained like a stubborn shadow. By the time Ada turned 24, frustration filled her bones. One night, as they ate watery okra soup, Ada looked her mother in the eyes. Mama, since I was born, you've been praying. We are still in the same place. I am tired. I cannot waste my life here. I am going to Lagos. I will find a way. Her mother's spoon dropped into the bowl. Lagos? Mama. Ifeoma's voice shook. My daughter, the city is dangerous. Men will deceive you. This is not what I raised you for. Ada's eyes hardened. Mama, God has not answered you. Let me answer myself. The next morning, she packed her small Ghana must-go bag and boarded a night bus to Lagos. But Lagos was not the dream she imagined. For the first 2 weeks, Ada slept under a bridge at Ojuelegba, her bag clutched to her chest. She begged strangers for money to eat. Lagos people were too busy, too harsh. Then one afternoon, outside a small buka in Surulere, she met Madam Bisi, the owner. Ada had stretched out her hand for alms, but instead of giving her money, the woman studied her. Young girl, Madam Bisi said, her jele tied wide like wings. You look strong. Do you want to work? Yes, ma. Anything, Ada replied, bowing. And just like that, Ada's life changed. She became a waitress in Madam Bisi's buka. It was hard work carrying plates of steaming amala, shouting orders over the noise, but at least it paid. With her first salary, Ada sent money home. For the first time, her siblings ate meat in their soup, but Lagos has eyes, and Ada's eyes noticed someone too. Every morning, a certain woman came into the buka. She wore fine clothes, carried designer handbags, and never repeated the same car twice. Sometimes a white Benz, sometimes a Lexus, sometimes a tinted Prado. Ada served her often. She noticed how the woman smiled at different men, always sitting in the corner, always whispering. One day, Ada's curiosity broke free. As she cleared the woman's table, she leaned close and said softly, Madam, please don't be angry. I see you come here often. You look like someone who has made it in life. I want to be like you. Please, how did you do it? The woman blinked, surprised, then laughed. You're bold, young lady. Boldness is good. Ada lowered her eyes. I just want to make something out of my life. My family depends on me. The woman stared at her for a long time, then scribbled a number on a napkin. Call this man. His name is Chief Okafor. Tell him I sent you. Ada's hands shook as she held the napkin. She felt it, her life was about to change. Chief Okafor was everything Ada imagined wealth to look like. Tall, broad-shouldered, with a gold wristwatch that shone even in dim light. His car, a black Range Rover, hummed like a beast. Their first meeting was in a restaurant at Victoria Island. He ordered pepper soup for her, red wine for himself. His voice was deep, his laughter smooth. Ada felt like she had finally stepped into another world. Soon, lunches turned into dinners. Dinners turned into hotel rooms. And just like that, Ada became his mistress. Chief was married, with 3 children, but Ada did not care. She told herself, I'm not here for forever. I'm here for survival. Money began to flow. He paid her rent in Surulere. He gave her a phone, He pressed crisp naira notes into her hands after each meeting. Ada sent more money home. Her siblings went back to school. Even Mama Ifeoma had new wrappers to wear to church. But Mama was not pleased. One night, Ada called home. Mama, things are better now. Why are you not happy? Her mother's voice was heavy. Adaora, I know what you are doing. My spirit does not rest. This path will not end well. Please, pray. Leave this man. Ada rolled her eyes. Mama, pray, pray, pray. Is it not money you needed? Is it not school fees you wanted? Now you have it, and you're still complaining. Let me live my life. But Mama Ifeoma did not stop praying. Maizal, weeks later, Chief invited Ada to a private dinner at a hotel in Ikoyi. She dressed in her best gown, her wig laid flat, her lips painted red. As they ate, Chief leaned back in his chair and studied her with a strange smile. Adaora, my baby, he said slowly. I have a proposal for you. Her heart skipped. Proposal? Yes. I want you to get pregnant for me. Give me a child. If you do, I will buy you a house, a car. I will make sure you never lack. Ada's fork froze halfway to her lips. Chief leaned closer, his voice dropping to a whisper. All you need to do is carry my child, and everything I own can be yours. Adaora could hardly believe her ears. Chief Okafor sat across from her, sipping his wine as if he had just asked her to pass the salt, not to give him a child. His eyes glimmered with a strange intensity, his gold wristwatch catching the light like a serpent's eye. Her first thought was excitement. A house, a car, freedom from poverty. It sounded like every Lagos girl's dream, but beneath the excitement, a small voice whispered, why does he want this so badly? Chief, Ada stammered, forcing a smile. You're married. Won't your wife suspect? Chief chuckled, deep and smooth. My wife is not your concern. Just focus on me. Focus on us. His words wrapped around her like velvet, soft yet suffocating. That night, Ada tossed in bed. She imagined her siblings going to school in ironed uniforms, her mother no longer hawking vegetables in the Sunday. She imagined herself behind the wheel of a car, living in a house with air conditioners humming. The picture was too sweet to resist. By morning, she had made up her mind. She would do it. When Ada told Mama Ifeoma about the proposal, her mother dropped her pestle with a loud thud. Adaora, she cried. I saw it already. In my dream, a man with grey hair came to you, smiling, and handed you a basket. Inside were 2 babies, twins, crying blood. He told you, take it. Your wealth has arrived. My daughter, do not take it. Ada rolled her eyes, frustration bubbling. Mama, enough. You always dream. Every little thing, you say God showed you. Please, I am tired. Let me live my life. This is my chance to change our story. Tears filled her mother's eyes. Ada, you will not understand. But if you love me, please don't take what he offers. Ada shook her head. Mama, you prayed for years. What has it given us? Suffering. Let me try my own way. And with that, she ended the call. 3 months later, Ada's belly carried a quiet secret. She was pregnant with twins. Chief was overjoyed. He showered her with gifts. He took her to a lawyer who showed her papers for a 4-bedroom duplex in Lekki. The house will be yours once the children arrive, he said, patting her hand. A sleek Toyota Corolla soon appeared in her driveway. Bags of money found their way into her wardrobe. Ada's siblings were withdrawn from public schools and placed in private ones. Mama Ifeoma had new clothes, new pots, even a small freezer. On the outside, everything looked perfect. But Ada began to notice small things that unsettled her. Chief never let her meet him outside hotels or hidden places. He never took pictures with her, and sometimes, in the middle of a conversation, he would zone out, mumbling words in a language she didn't understand, his eyes fixed on nothing. One night, after a dinner, as they sat in his car, he placed his palm on her stomach and smiled too widely. You have no idea how important this is, he murmured. This is the key. Ada laughed nervously. Key to what, Chief? He only kissed her forehead and started the engine. Then came the Sunday morning that changed everything. Ada woke up with sharp cramps. Sweat drenched her body as blood spread across her bed sheet. Panic gripped her chest. She tried to call Chief, but her hands trembled too much. By the time she stumbled to the bathroom, her legs were wet with blood. She collapsed on the floor, sobbing. Hours later, in the hospital, the doctor shook his head gently. Madam, I'm sorry. You've lost the babies. Ada felt her world tilt. She was weak, broken. Yet, when she told Chief, his reaction chilled her to the bone. He rushed to her side, hugged her, kissed her forehead, promised her everything would still be okay. But then he whispered words that made her blood run cold. I'm surprised you remember. Ada blinked. What do you mean by that, Chief? He smiled calmly. Don't worry about it. Rest. We'll try again. But days later, he repeated the same line. I'm surprised you still remember. It haunted her. What do you mean by remember? She asked one evening. Of course I remember, Chief. I was pregnant. I lost the babies. How could I forget? Chief only patted her hand and said, You're special, Ada. That's all you need to know. Confused and restless, Ada called her mother again. This time, Mama Ifeoma added their hometown pastor, Pastor Gabriel, to the call. The old man's voice was heavy and steady, the kind that made silence listen. My daughter, what Chief Okafor is involved in is older than you can imagine. For over 40 years, there has been a brotherhood in Nigeria. Men who want wealth and power beyond measure. Their covenant is simple. Every few years, they must offer the unborn children of women they deceive. They make the women forget. They chant until the memory of pregnancy vanishes. The woman continues her life as if nothing happened. That is why Chief keeps saying he is surprised you remember. It means your mother's prayers broke the veil. You are not supposed to recall anything. Ada's heart pounded. Pastor, you mean, my twins? Yes, Pastor Gabriel said, his voice like thunder. They were taken by his cult. But, by God's mercy, your eyes are open. If you go back, Adaora, you will not escape the second time. Ada dropped the phone, her hands shaking. Her mind replayed every moment with Chief, the wide smiles, the strange murmurs, the way he touched her stomach like it belonged to him. For the first time, she saw it clearly. This was not love, not even lust. It was sacrifice. That night, as she lay awake, her phone buzzed again. Chief's name flashed across the screen. Her thumb hovered over the answer button, but she froze when she read his message. Adaora, don't be afraid. I told you before, you're special. The brotherhood is waiting. Her heart stopped. Adaora sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the phone screen. Chief Okafor's message still glowed in the dark. The brotherhood is waiting. Her skin crawled, her stomach twisted. For the first time in months, she wished she had listened to Mama Ifeoma. That night, she didn't sleep. She only watched the shadows crawl across the walls. Every sound magnified the hum of the fridge, the barking of dogs outside, the distant cry of a baby that made her heart ache. By morning, she had made up her mind. She would end this. When Chief called again, Ada's voice shook. Chief, I don't want this anymore. I'm done. There was silence. Then, a slow, chilling laugh. You think it is that easy? Chief's voice was calm, too calm. You carried something for us. That makes you ours. If you walk away now, Adaora, you won't just lose money. You will lose everything. Ada ended the call and threw her phone across the room. Her chest pounded. She needed her mother. 2 days later, Ada traveled to Onitsha to see Mama Ifeoma. She arrived late in the evening. The old zinc house looked the same: cracked walls, dusty compound, the smell of ogbono soup simmering on firewood. The moment Mama saw her, she burst into tears. My daughter, I warned you. But thank God you are still alive. Ada collapsed in her arms, sobbing. Mama, I didn't listen. I was blind. I lost the babies. And now Chief says I belong to them. What do I do? Mama Ifeoma dragged her inside, shut the door, and pulled out her Bible. We fight. We pray. God has delivered you once. He will do it again. That night, the house shook with prayers. Mama's voice rose and cracked as she called on heaven. Ada fell to her knees, weeping, asking God to forgive her. The younger siblings watched, wide-eyed, whispering to each other in fear. But as the prayers grew stronger, the lights in the house flickered, even though there was no NEPA light to flicker. A cold wind blew through the windows, scattering the pages of Mama's Bible. Then, suddenly, a loud knock on the door. 3 knocks. Slow, heavy, boom, boom, boom. Ada froze. Mama, it's him. Mama Ifeoma grabbed her daughter's hand. Don't open. Keep praying. The knocks grew louder. Then a deep voice boomed from outside. Adaora, you can run to your mother, but you cannot run from us. How so? The children screamed. Mama shouted louder in prayer, her voice shaking the rafters. Ada covered her ears, rocking back and forth, her heart breaking. By morning, the knocking had stopped. The compound was quiet, but no one had slept. Pastor Gabriel arrived after being called through the night. He listened carefully as Mama recounted what happened. His face darkened. This is spiritual warfare, he said gravely. Adaora, you must cut ties with Chief completely. Block his calls. Burn every gift he gave you. And dedicate yourself fully to God. If you leave any door open, they will come through it. Ada nodded weakly. For the first time in years, she felt her pride break. She agreed to everything. The next week, she returned to Lagos. She moved out of her rented apartment, leaving behind the furniture Chief bought. She sold the car and used the money to relocate quietly. She blocked his number, deleted his pictures, and refused to answer strange calls. She told herself she was free, but freedom is not so easy. One evening, as she walked home from her new job at a supermarket in Yaba, she noticed a black Prado Jeep parked by the roadside. Its windows were tinted, but she felt eyes on her. Her legs shook. She quickened her pace. The Jeep started. Its engine purred like a predator waking up. Ada ran. Her slippers slapped against the asphalt as she turned into a narrow street. Her heart pounded so loud she could hardly breathe. The Jeep slowed behind her, keeping its distance, like a shadow waiting for nightfall. She reached her gate, fumbling with the keys, tears blurring her eyes. Just as she shut the door behind her, her phone buzzed. A new number. A new message. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Did you think it was over? The brotherhood never lets go. See you soon, Adaora. Ada collapsed on the floor, her chest heaving. For the first time in her life, she prayed not because Mama told her to, but because she was desperate. But even as she prayed, she couldn't shake the fear that it was already too late.